Hi guys, I'm Kaedyn Filburn and I will be examining HEXACO traits and their impact on human behavior. An overview of the experiment is the participants were college students in the community. How was this done? Was using the Likert scale, and then it was presented in a survey questionnaire. Then, after the survey was taken, we made a hypothesis, and then for after that we did data collection and I found positive correlations and put that into my abstract. Okay, for my hypothesis, full disclosure, I did not do the first two parts of the experiment. So what I did is I went back in after my abstract and looking at the data, and I pulled what I got as my correlations from the data and made hypotheses based on what I would have if I had done it prior to the abstract. So for my first one, I said if a participant scores high on extroversion, then the data will show a correlation with outdoor activity. And then the second one was if a participant scores high on honesty, humility, then they will also score high on agreeableness. And if we go back and look, I was able to pull that for agreeableness and honesty and humility because agreeableness, people with these traits are patient, tolerant, trustworthy, and they have forgiveness. And then with honesty and humility, they have sincerity, fairness, and moral character. And I just thought that both of those had similar traits. So for the results, this is the data that I looked at for my abstract. And if we look here with agreeableness and we go over to, can't really see, let me move myself over. If you look over here, honesty and humility with the agreeableness, it has really high correlation. And then if you go down here to extroversion and expected like outdoor activity, it also has this really high correlation. Put myself back over here. So my abstract, I'm not going to read the whole thing word for word. If you want to read it, that's totally fine. But basically, we conducted the study, the correlation between the personality traits and student behaviors, which is the HEXACO. And I looked at honesty, humility, and agreeableness as a correlation, and then extroversion with the estimated outside sports, like outside time spent. And I found that these correlations are important to highlight because they portray a high relationship between certain personality traits and what people with certain traits value. So, like I said in the second slide with that picture of the different traits, people that have agreeableness and then honesty and humility tend to have some of the same similar traits. So you can expect them to answer similarly on questions. In conclusion, I chose these results because they have high correlations and I can relate to them. For the extroversion and outside time one, I'm a very extroverted person. I love being around people, and I was also involved in multiple sports growing up. I always wanted to be in like group sports, so that made sense to me. And then when it comes to the correlation with agreeableness and honesty and humility, it makes sense because both traits contribute to the cooperative environment, and it's typically traits found in like selfless people. So if you had a question on the survey that said something like, would you save yourself in a fire before saving someone else? And you would answer, no, I would save someone else first. That's typically someone you're going to find that falls under the agreeableness, honesty, humility category. Some issues I had, I could have conducted the research better if I would have understood what the data was representing at first, but I did not conduct the first two parts of this experiment. However, going through this process taught me more about how to go further in other researching experiments. So in research two, I'll know what I'm looking for now and how to create the experiment, even though I didn't do it step by step this first time. And then these are some of my references I used to do my abstract. It's basically just like definitions of HEXACO and how it's been used throughout other like research. Um, but yeah, it helped me because I didn't do the first two parts of the experiment, so I was able to go back and like do some more research with it to help myself have a better understanding to write the abstract. But thank you, and if you have any questions, just comment below my video and I'd be happy to answer. Thank you.